6 winners in the first 6 races, 2 of which at the first podium in their career. Is this the challenge you were looking for?
Well, I'd like to say it was down to just the tyres, but in reality it's not. I mean, the cars this year are far more competitive. You know, the changes in technical regulations have meant that the cars are much closer together in terms of performance. You'll see that less than a second is covering often 10, 12 cars, which means that, of course, tyres become even more important, and anything you do with the tyres is having a big impact on where you finish the race. You will hear obviously comments about some drivers maybe struggling to get some warm up into the tyres, they're struggling to get the performance that they want. The reality is that the small differences are making it very, very difficult for them to manage a race, whereas last year maybe half a second difference between a car, this year it's a tenth of a second. So a fascinating start to the season. I'm quite sure as we go forward though that you'll see the top cars as ever pull away a little bit, and you'll see a little bit more structure to the racing. But 6 winners in 6 races is really wonderful.
Thanks to the super soft compound debut in Monte Carlo, now we know the whole Formula One tyre range developed by Pirelli for 2012 championship. What is the balance so far?
Well, obviously we've seen all of the tyres now and in varying conditions. I think the balance so far, of course, with such exciting racing, is it's very positive. We know from the past that the Formula One development cycles are so fast as well that you'll start seeing the teams understanding better how to get the maximum performance out of the tyres. I mean, they've probably understood the tyres, they know what they want to try and achieve with the tyres, but it's trying to make the car do exactly what they want to achieve the temperature balance that they want, finding the maximum performance they want for the whole race. One of the big challenges in Formula One today, of course, is that they start with full fuel loads, and that's 150 kilos, going down then to almost zero. And you can imagine a car weighing 600 kilos going and having 150 added to it can change completely the way it performs. So that's a big challenge for the teams.
In Canada, Pirelli will bring the same prime option mix in Monaco. What performance should we expect from P0 Red Super Soft and Yellow Soft tyres, considering both the features of Montreal circuit and tyres warm-up?
Well, Montreal is a sort of street circuit. It's a little bit quicker, obviously, than somewhere like Monaco. But it can also be a circuit where the temperature can vary dramatically, and this has a big impact on the way the tyres are working. In particular, if we do get cooler temperatures, the soft tyre is going to be a big challenge for the teams. If there's been a characteristic this year, some of the cars have been struggling to get temperature into the front of the tyres. The changes in aero this year have had a dramatic difference on the way the tyres are being used, less energy going into the tyres, and that's something we see. So for the teams, getting both compounds to work in varying temperature conditions will be a very big challenge for them.
Last year, Canada Grand Prix was entirely unpredictable because of the weather. What kind of race do you expect for next weekend? Will teams adopt a one-stop strategy like in Monte Carlo?
One stop's probably going to be very hard, 2 stops most likely. The weather forecast, if we can look that far ahead, looks a little bit wet and changeable. So possibly we'll have a race like we did last year, which was probably one of the most dramatic in the history of Formula One, where you saw Jensen obviously coming from, I think, last position, coming through to win on the last lap, just taking Sebastian Vettel on the last lap. Now, of course, if we could replicate that, maybe without the 2-hour stop in the middle, where we all stopped and had a cup of tea, we could have another memorable race. You know, it's a wonderful circuit, exciting circuit, wonderful location, and let's hope for another exciting race.